What's up, YouTube people? It's Wednesday here on Genderqueer Chat, and I'm Gabby. So unfortunately, I'm not very up to date on the queer world current events, or just world events at large. So upon reading this question, I knew very little about the topic. I know what gender identity disorder is. I've heard of it before. I've read a little bit about it, but I definitely didn't know that it was being categorized and the terminology was being changed, and I didn't know anything about it. So I took this as an opportunity for myself to do some research and learn a little bit about it and watch more videos and try and formulate an opinion as best as I could. So when I initially read the first definition of gender identity disorder, I did feel it was very binary and very outdated and actually relatively closed-minded for a book that is trying to, or a manual that's trying to understand people at large and what goes on in the human brain. And I do feel, although gender incongruence is still in the DSM as a mental disorder, that the new terminology and the new definitions and the recognition of third genders, not just the binary genders, is a step in the right direction, to say the least. It still doesn't necessarily make it the right thing to have it in a book of mental disorders, but it's a little bit of progress in my mind. But in my personal opinion, I don't believe that gender incongruence or transsexualism or genderqueer or any other non-binary gender option should be put in a book of mental disorders, because in my personal opinion, I feel like the mind is right, the body is wrong, or somehow flawed, and that therefore makes it a physiological defect, not mental disorder. So to me, you are born correct up here, and everything else that you don't want or don't feel you belongs there or that you shouldn't have should be categorized as a birth defect. Just because someone is classified male or female at birth because of their genitalia does not make them such. So I feel that if gender incongruence, or whatever it could be called, was classified as a physical deformity or a physiological defect, maybe not deformity, defect, rather than a mental disorder, that the whole process for people to become who they truly are, whether they need hormones or surgery or anything, would be so much less difficult and prodding and revealing to the world as something that's considered wrong or not correct in the brain, when you're fine. Everyone, you are perfect. You just need something to help you feel more like you. I also feel that if it was classified as a medical problem rather than a mental problem, it would greatly impact the way insurance companies handle people who are trans or genderqueer or whatever. I think it would change the process exponentially. I know that right now in the United States there is a very long list of strategic steps and procedures and letters that you need and have to take in order to obtain such things as hormones and surgery. And without these, you are denied what you want and what you need. And I feel like these steps are in some way trying to make sure people are serious, or they know what they're doing, or they know what they're getting themselves into. And my thought is, if this is how you always have been, or you know, who is a therapist to tell me that I don't know what I want, or the government, or the insurance companies? We, as people, know who we are from a pretty young age, so I don't understand how the process needs to be so elongated. And the simplest way I can put it, and it's kind of a strange analogy, but it's like telling someone to just accept their gender because of their physiological sex is like telling someone who was born with a third arm that can be removed via surgery to just live with it and accept it as part of them. No, that's not how that works. So basically, to sum it all up, and what I'm trying to get at is, the DSM has taken a few of the right steps to at least be encompassing of other third genders and remove binary language, because that's not what it's about. It needs to be accepting of everybody's needs who does not feel correct in their body, but they are correct in their mind. And the fact that it's still in a book of mental disorders, I think that needs to be changed. I'm not sure if it ever will be, but if it can't be changed and taken out of a book of mental disorders, at least they're taking the initiative to encompass other types of people. But, I mean, genderqueer people and trans people and non-conforming gender people, we don't have a disorder. We have a physical defect. So I believe that's all I have to say on this topic for the time being, because my knowledge is limited. But I hope I made some sense, and definitely this will be a topic that I'll have to do more research in myself, and maybe I'll make another video. But until next time, everybody, hope you're having a great Wednesday, and I'll see everybody next week.